Alright guys, on this episode of Pennies and what the hell we call it? Pennies Hot Rods and Customs, we're going to go back in time about 2.5 years. Maybe when his gut isn't as big as it is now, and I might have had a little bit more hair back then. But I think we're going to just give you guys a little runabout about this whole project from start to finish. Well, basically started. We actually started working on it before the channel.
Yep.
And I think since we finished it last year, more or less, Kevin's put on about 8,000 or 9,000 miles on it, trouble-free. Well, we had a few problems with the gas tank, but that's it. Other than that, good trouble.
And leaky transmission.
Oh yeah, leaky
but
transmission.
that was just a gasket.
Yeah, but we'll fix that. But yeah, it was a fun build. Put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of rust. A lot more rust than we anticipated.
We'll show you some clips of different aspects of the build from start to finish, and the good stuff and some of the bad stuff.
We'll go back in time, before COVID.
Now it's covered in bird shit because Kevin doesn't. You gotta tell Kevin take care of his truck.
If not, I'll wash it tonight or tomorrow. So anyway, I think we'll show you guys a bunch of clips and we'll go for a drive. And yeah, I think it was a long time coming for the whole truck. Couldn't have been happier. So anyway, I guess we'll go check her out. Chris, get your gut out of the picture. Hi there, this is the first issue of Pennies Hot Rods and Customs. We are starting with our current project, a 1952 Ford half-ton. We picked up in the fall of 2019. It was actually altogether a really nice truck. Wasn't running or anything like that. We decided to actually take it all apart from nut to bolt. We pulled the flathead out. It was stuck in pretty rough shape. So we went with the tried and true small block Chevy, as you can see. My brother Kevin, he wanted to go with disc brakes, power disc brakes, so we got that from Speedway. It's actually a really simple kit to install, unless you follow the instructions. All new kingpins and everything else. We sandblasted everything. We sandblasted the frame. We decided after cleaning up it was just easier to sandblast. And we got that, it was all done. We spent some time, we went to Rondex and got Pour 15, painted it up, and actually looked not too bad. A little dusty from sitting in the garage now. But as you go further back, we put in a power breaker unit. It seems like it's going to work fine. It clears everything. Just a typical small block Chevy, turbo 350. We actually have a new motor at my place on the stand, almost ready to go. And then we actually took the time to sand the whole cab down. It was actually a little rougher than we thought it would be, but we welded up some holes in the firewall and just kind of smoothed it out, as you can see. Cowl vent was a mess, but we were able to get another one. Not a huge deal. And then actually doing work in here, we pulled out the floors and actually made new ones with the bead roller and everything. And actually turned out not bad. There's going to be a new tranny tunnel that goes in here. Actually, we were able to use the original one. And yeah, actually the cab wasn't too bad, except for the back part where I think a tree or something fell on it, went upon its life. It's kind of rough, but we actually were able to make it not too bad. And then you go to the rear end, we took, it's just a Chevy 10 bolt. It was out of a 67 Chevy, just standard rear end, 331 gears, just kind of went through it, new brakes, bearings, and all that. So it should be all right. New hoses, and even the I was actually amazed. Even the original e-brake cables were actually working, and we're actually able to reuse those and actually made them work. So we put new leaf springs, all the bushings and everything in the rear end, and greased them, and it's actually not bad. They were pretty rough shape when we got them, but we took it all apart, and luckily you can buy everything. Fairly easy project.
That's the rust hole. Now it's the bigger hole. Now we'll just clean up some of the inner rust. See how this panel is, if it's still in decent shape. We'll keep it, and we'll start fitting the patch panel. So here's the patch, just tacked in. It came out very good. Not going to finish fully welding it in. There is some rust right under here and here. I'm going to cut that out and make a panel for that, and we'll tack everything in all at once. So working on the driver's running board, we cut out the rust, as you can see, and we went to our parts vehicle, which had a decent top of the running boards anyways. So we cut 2 pieces out there and there, and we will basically cut them, butt weld them in there, and the other one in there, and it should look better than it was. So it's been about a week since I've been working on these fenders. I did the first 2 patches on the rear fender. This is the sheet metal I've cut out and replaced over there at the bottom, and that's the inside of that one. So working on this back, this is the back of the rear fenders. I'll show you the piece I took out. That's the rotten piece I took out. I first attempted to, this is my first attempt at making the piece. It failed because our shrinker and stretch, or the one I was using, are just an inch jaw. So what it did was buckle. It couldn't grab, shrink the thick flange on there, so it just shrunk the outside and it buckled here. So we went and purchased, I would say Kevin purchased, a 8-inch throw shrinker and stretcher. So I made this piece, and like the factory, I relieved that out just so it would curve better. That's been relieved just like the factory, and it's just clamped in there right now. It fits fairly good. I just have to do some trimming on it and start making it fit. The back, see, it's flush, very flush around there, so I just have to mark it, trim it, slide it in, and then we'll tack weld it in. Okay, rear fender is done. It's all ground. It'll just need a little bit, we'll just put a little skim coat of fiberglass. The holes, mounting holes, are drilled. We even reinstalled there's a steel rod brace in there. We took it out just to straighten it, and then we made a new one and put that in there. And that's just a piece of angle iron. It's a stiffener to replace the one I took out. But that one's ready to get stripped, and then start body working on it. I'll start working on the second one. Okay, Bad Gang working on the 52 Ford truck bed. This is the rear of the bed. It goes in between the 2 bed sides. Right at the back, the tailgate basically sits down here. This strip here is where the bed wood sits. That's a frame mount there. That's the other one. This is all bent. We'll have to straighten that. This is totally rotten, this piece, so we're gonna have to replace that. I think you can buy those in stainless with the bed kit, I'm not sure. But this is in very rough shape. Not only rusted, it's bent a lot. So I laid out all my bolt holes and drilled them all identical to the original. So it shouldn't have any problems putting the wood on or the bed sides. Then instead of I was going to just drill holes on the other side just to get access to these bolt holes. That's why these are open. I decided to grind it. It was easier than drilling a million holes. So you see, looks a little different. That's a little wider than that little thing, make it stronger. Same with, I left two pieces in the center, that'll make it stronger. And so the next thing we have to do is just figure out where those go. And they go somewhere like that. And we'll just weld those on. Okay, back working on the 52 Ford truck. There's the cab. Working on this piece. This is the back or the front of the box, the opposite of the tailgate, the part that goes against the cab. This one is quite rusted along there. It's dented. I showed you that in a previous video, or previous day, I should say. So I decided to make my own. So we took that off, drilled out the spot welds. It was only spot welded on in 3 spots actually. So that was easy. Went and bought some rectangular tubing, and we're going to cut it off on the same side, pull this piece out with the drill out the spot weld that back into this piece. It's not going to be exactly stock, but it's a box. The truck's not stock anyways, so I'm good with that. Then at the bottom, this lip here, we could just bend it with sheet metal, but I want to make it a little stronger, so I just got a piece of angle iron, and then we'll connect it with sheet metal. We'll make this little lip here on our brake, so shouldn't be too bad. And another big gulp. Okay, so the back of the bed is all welded and ground. That's where it was plug welded. That's all ground. All we have to do is put a little bit of seam sealer on there and paint it. That's where the bed wood's gonna sit. The bed sides go inside here, so either we'll plug weld it from this side or pop holes here and then plug weld that when we're putting the bed together. We have the 2 threaded holes there where the bed side comes up and circles up there. Then the other side, if I can get the camera. This is going to be against the cab. So that's the bottom. A little bit of seam sealer wrong there. And same with the top. Those are all the plug welds. That's been ground. And just a little bit of seam sealer along that edge. And you can't even see that. It's thinner metal than the original, but it doesn't move. Moves a little bit, but not much. Okay.
Okay, we're going to be attempting, hopefully tonight, if everything goes all right, we're going to be shooting this 52 Ford in the last sealer primer, and then it should be ready for paint. Oh, good idea there, Chris. The cab is fully bolted down with the original hardware, well, new hardware, but all new stuff. It's never coming off again, at least hopefully not.
Yeah, it's going to be painted on the frame.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just tarp everything or mask everything off a little better when we do paint it, but we're just stirring up the primer and everything else right now.
The primer was sitting for a while, so it's got some lumps in there. So
if somebody's really nice, they'd send us a paint shaker.
Right, that's 7.
Yeah, you're right on.
Right on 7.
Weird.
It's a nice green.
What you should have done was going to
Paint my nails. The bad thing is we should have had a larger bucket, like mixing bucket, but we ran out of clean ones, and it's Sunday and you can't get them. So we got a lot of these little 1 liter ones, so we'll just have to mix and mix. But we've done it before also. So. Okay, mask time.
What's your thoughts?
Get it done. Leave me alone.
Okay, we're gonna get to work here.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember gonna say hi to. What's up?
So the truck is painted, or the cab is. It's a very nice shade of green. That's original Ford 51 Ford, well 52. They had it 50, I think 48 to 53, I believe, the same shade. It's metal green. Inside, it's still tacky, so be careful. And that glass setting channel is the exact same stuff you put in for the door glass.
Good as new.
Except for all the fingerprints, but
That's part of it.
yep. Okay, so we got the engine in. It's all bolted in. The cross members in. The tranny bolts are in. We just started bolting in the inner fender wells. Everything is loose, and then we got the rad cradle. It's in. We're gonna leave everything is loose, just so when we're fitting the fenders on, there's wiggle room, and the holes are big enough, so that's good. One thing, if you're using the original cross member, all these bolts here are fine thread. Even the bolts that bolt these fender braces, they're all fine thread, and the nuts are all built in, so That's just one thing to remember when you're. Derek just finished tapping them all, so they're all the rust is out of them and paint. And Kevin's painted up all the little bracketry that go everywhere around this truck. But yeah, we're just getting to get ready. We're gonna put these up, bolt them up here, bolt the fender braces on, and then we're gonna just mock up the rad in there. We know it's gonna fit, but make it look good. Okay, so we're just getting ready to put the fenders on. We got welting from Speedway. And what I'm doing now is we got a couple clamps and I'm marking where the holes go, and I'm also pie cutting so that it makes a nice curve and it doesn't bunch up. And you got to do that all along this curve here and a little bit around the top because the top isn't completely straight, but I'm just taking time and just punching holes. If you don't have a leather punch, sacrifice a crappy socket, grind it down the size you need, and there you got a leather punch. And a block of wood, and we got a perfect hole.
When I leave today or like later on, I'll take these off and Ryan can just quickly sound them.
Okay, rear fender is on.
I said this will straighten out.
Took about 3 guys to do this, as you need one guy to tighten underneath, and one guy with a wrench in the box, and one guy to make sure that the bead is nice and smooth, non-wrinkly, and so that came out good. Alright, so just test fitting the first 3 boards in 2 strips. Derek's just doing some hand filing to get the bolts fitting good. Same with Corey over there. They're just off slightly.
This sucks. Just saying. This is nicer than most IKEA furniture. You got that on camera? True story.
Well, we're not putting it together with Allen keys.
Yeah, true. Actually, I think IKEA's back open now.
Is it?
Yeah, I heard on the radio.
Very not interesting.
It is. I like their furniture. It's cheap. It's right up my alley.
Here's.
Can I get another? Yeah. That's just finicky. There you go.
It's just like it installs itself.
Yeah. Like I said, just like any good product at IKEA.
Okay, we've got all the bolts, the carriage bolts in. We don't have any nuts on, nothing's tightened up. That's just to get everything in there lined up. This bed strip is in there. So basically it goes underneath there, and then there's a bolt there that we have the notch out there, and a bolt there we have the notch out, and one at the end.
Fuck you know.
Okay, just tightening up the headlight buckets. New cork gasket around there. That actually fits good. I still have to, I'll just tuck those in under and bring them back and hide those. But got the pigtails on that came with the Speedway wiring kit. Corey has that headlight in. Okay, just getting the carpet, our $35 carpet put in. It's looking pretty good. So I'm not worried about this. It fits pretty good here. Up in the kick panels, it's good. Cut a hole around my bump stop. I took the gas pedal out, so we'll have to find the holes for that. I had to cut out this part to make it a relief cut, so this would fit down. So looking pretty good. So then I made this piece. This is going to go over, and we're going to basically glue underneath here to hold that down and glue it in the seam here. This is going to go there and then get glued over the side there, and that's what you'll see. So for homemade cheap carpet, I think it's gonna look perfect. I'm gonna get since this is where the gas pedal is, that's where your heel is gonna be. I'm gonna take scrap pieces and just Velcro a piece here, just as a heel pad, so you can replace it when it gets worn out. Same with possibly we'll probably get a mat there and a mat here, just to keep the carpet from wearing out too much. But for cheap do-it-yourself carpet, this stuff was bought, just a roll of it for 35 bucks at Home Hardware. So okay, so we just put 2 layers of burlap on it, just stuff like that. Got it at the fabric store. It's pretty thin, so that's why I put 2 layers on. We're using hog rings. These are just some cheap hog rings and some hog ring pliers. They're cheap. You can buy like 50 of these and the pliers for like $15, $10, something like that. Okay, so we put there's our burlap, our foam. This is just fluff or cotton batting. It's used, got it at a fabric store. It's used to puff up things and fill gaps and stuff, but it makes all your corners nice and round. Then our cloth, we cut everything big. The white cotton is cut to size already. This is oversized because we can trim later. I just didn't want to screw up. So that's what it's going to look like, and we just have to stretch that a little bit, hog ring it. We just finished hog ringing the cloth on, so on the top, the back, and again with all I did with the sides is fold it over, put extra cushion on the side, extra white fluff. So that came out pretty good on both sides, and the back is just nothing special. It's just folded over, hog ring, stretched, hog ring, and stretched, hog ring, and you can fill in little, got a lot of the wrinkles out with just putting the white fluff in.
Ready?
Yeah.
Well, guys, as you can see, it's the seat's fully mounted in here. Chris did an awesome job doing the upholstery job. It's nice and comfy. I like it. Again, it was literally a mouse infested unit, right? So Corey took time and cleaned it up.
It'll look good when we get finish these guys in.
Yeah.
Finish off the interior.
Yeah, no, it looks sharp. They did an awesome job on it.
A lot better than what it was.
Getting in with the running boards on. liner came out good. Seat came out nice. Can't remember all the crap we did on there. There was a lot of rust repair, fender repairs, front and rear. Put more bracing in the hood than what the factory has. Fixed the rust in the running boards. It's got a Chevy 350 in it with automatic 350 trans, disc brake kit on the front. Other than that, the front suspension is original. It's got a, I think it's 12 bolt Chevy rear end in the rear. Pedals are under the floor. Brakes are under the floor, I should say. Get Kevin to buy one, or we'll just recast that one.
Yeah.
And I believe Kevin's planning on buying a tailgate one of these days. All brand new rubbers, brand new glass.
Face it, people, I'm the best part of this show.
That's one of the best.
Next to me. And my ice cream stain. Shit
At
happens.
least it's not a ketchup stain or mustard.
Shit happens.
It'll be a mustard stain pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I always like these. Originally they're chrome but very pitted, so we decided to strip them and paint them, and they came out perfect. So I think we'll leave this video here. So, as always, like, share, subscribe.
Leave a comment. Talk to the lady down the street. Talk to the milkman. Talk to the guy that sells the ice cream. Don't talk to those people. We'll see you on the next one. Time to get home.